Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another tutorial. Today I have a fun and exciting card idea. It's Marshmallow Bunnies, and I'm using the Basket Bunch stamp set basket builder dies. I have the Petal Burst embossing folder, and I'm going to use these products together to give texture and a nice clean look to a card. I have taken a piece of Whisper White cardstock and embossed it on the Big Shot die cutting machine with the Petal Burst embossing folder, and now I am taking 3 different colors of ink that complement each other, and I'm using the panel that I'll be placing behind the embossed panel to be able to do my stamping and die cutting. Normally this is just a layer of cardstock that sits there, but I needed to be able to do my stamping and die cutting, and what better piece than something that no one is going to see. I'm using Labeler Alphabet stamp set to do the stamping on this card. I want to stamp out the sentiment that says "peep!" exclamation point, and I did experiment with a couple of other sentiments from other stamp sets. I wasn't really happy with those, so I decided to kind of go with something I could make up on my own. Labeler Alphabet is a fantastic stamp set to be able to make up any words that you like. Anything. I can say peep, I can say Happy Easter, anything. So it's one great way to be able to work with children's cards because you can spell their name out or you can spell out their favorite phrase. I recently used Labeler Alphabet to make some bubble wands for my son's trip's bubble party, and it was so nice for him to be able to see that it said bubble party on the tag. It's a really great asset to my craft room. So these little bunny die cuts are going to be hidden underneath the embossed paper, and no one will ever know that it's there except you and me. I'm going to use a strip of vellum to kind of rest all of the bunnies on. And I'm folding it around to the back of the card because when I use adhesive on vellum, it almost always shows through. Whether you're using glue dots or snail adhesive, even liquid glue, it shows through on vellum. So one way that I've found that I can hide those adhesive marks is to take the adhesive and adhere it to the card front on the back side. That way you're just wrapping something around and you won't have a distraction of any imperfections. My card projects are never perfect, but if I can help them along just a little bit by hiding the adhesive somewhere, it gives me a smile, and I am happier whenever someone receives my treasure in the mail. So I will be adhering this down, and the reason that I chose the vellum is because I wanted to pull the eye away from the embossing folder, the impression that the embossing folder gave, but I don't want to remove it completely. So the vellum lets me show the texture right through because it is translucent, and it is enough to be able to hold all of the die cuts. So it just kind of works out on a couple of different levels. To put the die cuts together, I am using the glue dots, and some of them that go near the top of the bunny's ears on the back, I'm folding in half. And what that does is it gives me a little tiny bit more dimension, but it also makes sure that the glue dot doesn't get in the way and show on the outside of the die cut. For the spacing on putting the bunnies down, the first thing I did was to stick one bunny in the middle, and that gives me a nice place to be able to measure from. I grabbed a bone folder, and that's going to give a straight line. It's just a quick tool that I was able to put my hand on, and I'm using work from the inside to the outside and then fill in the gap in the middle kind of formula. It's easy for me to be able to see something if I know that I can work from an edge that's already straight. Here is this scrap of paper, and I didn't measure it, but you can use whatever kind of scrap fits your sentiment. I'm using some foam dimensionals to adhere it to the card, and I'm going to also use some more foam dimensionals to adhere this panel down to the Wisteria Wonder card base. Just so that I can make sure that I listed out the colors, they are Wisteria Wonder, Melon Mambo, and Bermuda Bay. I chose those colors because I have seen the candy bunnies and the candy chickens in those colors before. So I wanted something that, in my mind, it would be realistic enough looking. My kids don't eat the marshmallow candies because it's a texture thing for them. However, if these were turned into gummy bunnies, they would be all over it. My kids are 3 years old and 5 years old, and anything that has the word gummy in it just is enough to sell it to them. Here is a look at how I'm decorating the inside of the card. I'm just using that same bunny with the Bermuda Bay and stamping it in a different stacked whimsical fashion in different generations of ink. It's going to go inside the card, and it'll be something fun to be distracted with. Here is a look at the finished card. I appreciate you guys watching another video tutorial, and I invite you over to my blog at jennystampsup.com for new card making inspiration.
Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.